If your Warzone KD is a 1.0 or above, then this video is going to be for you. I'm going to be going over some of the higher KD classes in Warzone that are going to benefit the people who have got more recoil control and a little bit more time played and skill in the game. Now, obviously, I'm aware some people will have a higher KD and lower skill, and some people will have a lower KD with a higher skill, depending how long you've played the game. And this is just a rough guide, but generally, this is going to be for your higher, average to high skill players in Warzone, and it's going to be the best guns that you can use for those skill ranges. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Invin. Today I am going to be bringing you guys a video that covers all of the current best guns in Season 3 Reloaded for you average to high skilled players that are going to be playing regularly, you know, kind of staying on meta, just staying on trend with what is working well at the moment. And I'm going to go over some of the best classes that I have found for you guys so that you can stay on top of your game with what is basically the most open meta we've had in ages, which is fantastic. So I'm going to go over some really cool classes, some that you might not have seen before in videos because they're not covered a lot, some that are going to be your more traditional meta style weapons, and then some other weapons in there that you could use as alternatives depending on what game mode and things like that you do end up running. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, make sure you drop a like on it down below, it'd be much appreciated. And if you are new to the channel, drop a subscribe down below. We'd love to have you here as part of the channel community. We are pushing for 2k subs at the moment, so it'd be amazing to have you here as well. Other than that, let's jump into the video today. So first things first, here we've got Nickmercs is basically his class that he uses a lot, which is the PKM and the Modern Warfare MP5. Now, this is going to be for players who have a decent amount of recoil control, because the PKM here does have a little bit of recoil, but with this setup, it is very minimal, and the MP5 from Modern Warfare is very good up close, so it's quite a nice, well-rounded setup. I would suggest a 1.2 to 1.4 minimum KD for this class setup, because you do need to have a decent amount of handling, you do need to be able to slide, cancel, camera brake, all that kind of good stuff to make the most out of this class with the MP5, and then with the PKM, you do need to have a good shot on you to be able to hit the bullets, but it's got a very fast TTK when you do. So let's go over the build here. The PKM, we're going monolithic suppressor, extended barrel, VOK 3x uptick, forged tack stalker stock, and the snatch grip. Gives it a ton of mobility. The monolithic suppressor obviously gives us the damage range increase, which is really nice for this weapon. Extended barrel then again doing the same thing. Bullet velocity, damage range, recoil control, exactly what we want. VOK optic obviously is just for your 3x scope. You can put a different one on if you would like to, but I think this is probably the cleanest one. It's probably the one that is most likely to be useful on this weapon. You've then got the Forge Tack Stalker, which gives a bit of aiming stability, which is really nice. And then the Snatch Grip on the bottom there, which is recoil control and ADS speed, which is really good. Does minus your movement speed, but you're going to be using this bad boy to move about with, so that's not going to matter at all. On this MP5, a little bit of a different build to what usually is ran. So we've got the monolithic suppressor on the muzzle here, which is obviously giving us damage range, sound suppression, instead of the integral one, or the subsonic integral. So they're a little bit different to usual setups there. We've got the F-Tac collapsible stock on the back there for the movement speed and the ADS. We've got the Merc foregrip on there for the hip fire accuracy and the recoil control. 45 round mags, obviously for the ammo, and stipple grip tape on the back there, which gives us ADS speed and sprint fire speed. Built for a very close range, snappy class. Absolutely excellent build. Ton of fun to use this class. I've been really enjoying it. Didn't think I'd like it too much with the PKM because I've been used to things like the AMAX, the Krig, the FARA. Threw it on and it's actually a ton of fun, so make sure you guys get on, try this one out. Running the same perks that are going to be throughout the video, so it's going to be EOD, Overkill, and Amped with Thermite and Heartbeat Sensor, or Semtex and Stun, whatever you want to run there, but those perks will be the same throughout every single class. Then moving on there to the second class, we've got the AMAX and the MAC 10. This one was included in my average sort of lower end to higher end KD. I did a video on a 0.6 to a 1.2 KD range, so I included quite a lot of classes there, which are really good video going in depth about all of the different things, giving loads of tips and classes. So if you haven't seen that, I'll leave a card on the screen somewhere for you guys now and on the end screen for you guys so you can go and watch it. But this class was included up towards that top end, that 1.2 end again, but I would say that anywhere from a 1 up should be able to use this class, particularly the MAC 10. AMAX a little bit harder to control with the recoil, but the MAC 10 is an absolute laser beam. So starting off with the AMAX build here, pretty traditional build. Monolithic suppressor, XRK Zodiac, S440, VOK 3x, Commando foregrip, and 45 round mag. Very steady as you can get the AMAX, with a very nice quick TTK, high damage, lowest recoil you can get. Ton of fun, and you are going to see that you're going to be able to ping and beam people very easily, which is really nice. Pairing it then with something like the MAC 10, which is arguably one of the most movements in the game at the moment, with a very laser beam accuracy once you build it like this. it's going to be a ton of fun. So you've got this one for up close, so we've obviously gone with the sound suppressor, a brand new one, ADS speed, bullet velocity, sprint to fire, fantastic. Pairing it with the task force barrel then, obviously you get the stray speed as well as bullet velocity and damage range. You can drop down to the reinforced heavy though if you are finding the recoil particularly difficult, but because we run the field agent grip on this one, recoil is controlled vertical and horizontal, which kind of gets rid of the task force impact, so pretty much is standard, it's pretty good. Radar stock on the top there as well, just to give a bit of sprint to fire time and obviously movement speed. And then finally finishing it off with the 53 round fast mags. You can actually whack on the drum if you want to, just give you a little bit more ADS time, but it's literally like 112 milliseconds or something, very negligible. So in 9 times out of 10, it's not going to matter for that little bit, so I just go with the fast mags, just obviously to get that quicker reload if you are in a 1v2, 1v3 situation. So that's going to be the same again, same perks, really, really fun class, 1.1, 1.2 KD, you're going to be absolutely shredding with this class. Then moving on to the AKU and the FARA. The AKU is something I actually saw TimTheTatman use quite a bit on his video the other day and tried it out, and again, amazingly fun build. Really, really cool. We've gone with the sound suppressor again for that close range impact, task force barrel, KGB skeletal stock on the back end there, Spetsnaz grip on the underbarrel, and finally finishing off with a VDV 50 round fast mag. Now this is a very quick, snappy weapon. Feels a little bit like the AS Val for any of you guys that have used that, but it's got obviously a bigger clip size for starters, not quite as much damage and drops off a little bit quicker than the AS Val actually does, but still a fantastic weapon, particularly for trios and quads where you're going to be having more players. Really, really excellent weapon, ton of fun and very, very versatile. Paired then with the FARA, which is arguably one of the best guns in the game at the moment for TTK and very low visual recoil with this SUSAT multi-zoom. So we'll go over it. We've got Groove Suppressor obviously on there, bullet velocity, effective damage range, recoil control, Liberator barrel then for the more bullet velocity. It's a Cold War weapon, so we want maximum bullet velocity there. SUSAT multi-zoom, some people don't like it. If you don't, swap out to the Axle 3 times or even the Royal Cross at 4 times, but personally, because this is the kind of thing that makes the FARA so OP, I would definitely recommend at least trying it out. The SUSAT multi-zoom has the lowest visual recoil in the entire game, so having this on basically looks like you're shooting in a straight line, and you're going to be able to easily hit all of your shots with this scope on, if you can get used to liking it. It is a little bit weird compared to the other ones, but I've got used to it now, and it's a ton of fun. It feels like a laser beam when you use it, so it's definitely worth it. Skeletal stock on the back then, obviously for your movement and sprint to fire, and then the 60 round mag, it gives you the least ADS reduction whilst giving you the most amount of ammo, so basically what you want on a weapon. Fantastic class. I would say this one you could probably do anywhere from a 1.0 KD up, maybe even a 0.9 KD up, especially the AKU. It's a very versatile weapon. Probably for the FARA, you're going to want a 1.1 KD, but anyone will be able to pick it up and do well with it if you're able to hit your shots. So, depends how good your accuracy is with that one there. This is one of my favourite classes at the moment. It's the Krig 6 LC10. Krig 6 will build in agency suppressor, range of barrel, again, bullet velocity, Axle 3 times on there, then field agent grip, the Stanag 60 round mag, then pairing it with the LC10. This is going to be agency suppressor, task force barrel, radar stock, field agent grip, and Stanag 55 round mag. This is one of the best, most versatile classes in the game. You've got the Krig 6 for all those mid to long range engagements. It's going to be able to ping people off at 150, maybe even 200 meters if you're accurate enough to hit your shots. The thing's got a ton of range, really good laser scan focus when you are shooting. The bullets feel like hit scan when you've got this build on, which is lovely, and it makes it a really, really strong, solid option. Then pairing it with something like the LC10, which has a ton of range for an SMG. You can get up to 60, 70 meters absolutely comfortably. Makes this a fantastic weapon and setup. It's going to be a very versatile class, and you're going to be able to do absolute bits with it. Finally then, to finish off here for these classes today, it's going to be a class where you're going to want a little bit of a higher KD because you are going to need to be able to be very, very accurate with your shots. But if you've got a lower KD and you're a very good accurate player, this is going to be a fantastic class for you to get you carried up those KD and wins. It's going to be the Kar 98 and the LC10. Some people are not a fan of the Kar 98. You can just replace this with whatever sniper you want. But the reason that this class works so well is the fast aggro ability of it. So it's one of the fastest builds for the Kar 98. The same build I always show you guys. Fantastic build. Monolithic. Singard Custom 27. Tac laser, variable zoom scope, sport combat stock, fantastic fast build, paired with the same LC10 build from above, agency suppressor, task force, radar stock, field agent, and Stanag 55. super snappy, tons of range on the SMG, more than any other SMG in the game. So when people are switching to those ARs and they become clunky because that's their sniper support weapon, or they're using it for the mid to long range like a Krig 6 or a FARA, you're still going to have the mobility of an SMG at those ranges and be able to challenge the TTK competitively, which makes the LC-10 one of the best weapons in the entire Warzone at the moment. Mark my words, in a few weeks time this will be the meta gun that everybody is focusing on. It is definitely an amazing weapon and people are coming around to it now. They're starting to pick up on it a lot more, so make sure you get ahead of the game, get it leveled up if you haven't done so already, get using it. It's a ton of fun to use. Paired with something like the Kar 98, Swiss, HDR, AX50, literally LW3 Tundra, whichever your favourite sniper is, pair it with the LC-10 and give it a go. You will not be disappointed. It's a ton of fun. And again, that's probably going to be a 1.4 to 1.5 KD plus class because of the accuracy needed for the Kar 98. But if you're on the lower end of the KDs, 0.9 and 1, but you've got really good accuracy, this is definitely going to be a class you're going to want to try out because you're going to be able to ping people from a very decent amount of distance and cover a lot of kills there very easily, getting that KD and obviously win rate hopefully up as well. Now hopefully this class has helped you guys out with a few different ideas of what you can go through for different classes, different loadouts, different weapons, and give you guys a few snazzy little setups in there, things like the PKM, AKU, MW MP5 that people are not using and talking about a whole lot but are actually really good. If you have enjoyed today's video, make sure you do leave a like down below as it's much appreciated. It really helps me and the video out. And if you are new, like I said at the start of the video, make sure you subscribe, get those notification bells on so you don't miss an upload. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching. Take care and peace.